how did I change the beliefs that I had? And did they serve me? They didn't serve me. And they also did. Because if I don't give you my heart, you can't break it. So they served me in the form of guarding me. But did they serve me in the long run? No. Because my neck suffered for my ex. Every next relationship I went into, I was less guarded. I was more guarded than the last. Whether it was a platonic friendship or a romantic friendship. Because of the belief that I had, which was people are out to get me, people are not to be trusted, and people will abandon me anyways. And I had to keep proving my worth to be able to stay in the midst of people. I had to dim my light because I wanted people to feel comfortable around me and my personality, because I have a big personality, but I didn't know that then. I thought, I had to become small, for people around me to be comfortable without, having to show what I really could do. I would pretend that I didn't know things or couldn't do things because I didn't want any limelight to be on me at all. So did they serve me? No. I remember when I started in the television industry, I never would mention my surname. When people ask me, what's your name? I'll say Adeola. And they'll be like, Adeola how much? Or Adeola what? And then I'll say, Adeola Oloyede. And then you hear people say, which Oloyede are you? Because both my parents were popular parents. And I think that was also another challenge, having popular parents and me not wanting to be the one to bring them shame, right? So I carried on something that nobody asked me to carry on. And I felt like I needed to comport myself in a particular way because I didn't want to bring my parents shame. And so I didn't become a full flower. I don't regret it. But I could have done a lot of things differently. So this was one of it. By telling people my name proudly, I felt like I needed to prove to myself that even if my father and my mother are television people, I needed to prove to myself that it's not because they're television people that I was good. And then I didn't want people to just give me things on a platter just because they knew my parents. So I didn't want to mention their name or be associated with them and then be seen as, it's because her father is or her mother is, that's why they made her or they gave her. I wanted to work for myself. I mean, why, when life can be easy, why do you want it to be hard? Is the question. So I followed the harder path, which I'm grateful for, because at least I showed myself that I knew exactly why I was in the industry and what I was doing. Because if I started as the lowest in an industry and in 2 weeks I rose to being the highest, then there was something about me that was good, but I didn't see it as that. I didn't see that there was something special about me. I just saw it as, well, I was fortunate, and I also had to prove myself once again by being a part of XYZ. So did they serve me? Yes and no. Because even addictions, we do not know that those addictions, yes, they might be leading us to a place of damage and destruction and bad health and death. But at that point, when you're doing it, it's taking you away from pain and taking you to a place of pleasure. And that's the job and the role of your brain and your mind. Let me put it that way. It's to help you, lead you from that thing that has pained you before. It will remind you, remember, that's the job of your mind. So coming out into that place and knowing myself and be sure, I suffered it. But it guarded me at the time as well. So it had a role, I would say, it was playing in my life. It had a function, it had an intention, it had a purpose that it was playing in my life, right? Which helped me at the time. And I didn't have to give of myself to anybody also emotionally, because, I'm that kind of person that if I was a guy, they would have just said, this one is a prostitute type thing, because I didn't want to be emotionally connected to anybody. I didn't want the burden of emotions. I just wanted to keep it moving. And I was that kind of person that if I tell you this thing is not going to go past here, you can take it to the bank. But then people keep hoping that, oh, I can change her, I can change her. They didn't know that I was unchangeable, right? So I was very hardened in my heart. And I became a masculine woman who didn't really enjoy being in a relationship with a man because I was also a man, right? So I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy all those, softness. Okay, let's do. I would come across as a man when I was in the space of another masculine man. And so I didn't really enjoy all that softness that some women enjoyed. I mean, I had my moments, yes, but they were very, very little as to what I have now, right? And how I enjoy being a woman in front of people and asking for my needs and saying no and creating boundaries and having autonomy and telling you this is not going to happen and you can take it to the bank once again. So some of the things that seemed like a negative, I've turned them into a positive. My confidence is top notch. Nobody can touch it, right? My self-worth and esteem, if I do something, if I even heal myself, you'll be wondering, this girl is too proud. Yes, you're right. You're also very right if you say I am. Because I've had to do a lot of work on myself to snatch myself back into myself, right? By doing a lot of therapy, hypnotherapy, done a lot of going back to the past, regressions, questions. I'm doing courses. I've done a lot of work and still doing a lot of work to understand myself, because you will never understand yourself 100%, but you will keep growing. And that's what has happened to me. So now I can look anybody in the eyes and tell them no. And if you ask me why, I have no reason. I just don't want to do it. And in fact, I even have a smile on my face. I couldn't do that a few years ago. I would say yes, then be grumbling in my heart. Why did I say? Then I will not be looking for how to lie to you, lie myself out of the yes that I've said. Why? So they were the things that, the beliefs that I had didn't really serve me as much. But they also served me on the other hand. And I was able to use some of them to guide myself. And I'm not saying that you go into every relationship and just open yourself up. But you want to go into any relationship believing that the best will come out of this. And you trust that the best will come out of it because you yourself, you're a good person. And it's like when you say, I want a fantastic friend. I want a friend who will always be there for me. Whenever I'm crying, they're there. When I'm laughing, they're there. Are you that thing first? Because you can never get who you're not. So are you first that thing? Are you first that friend that people can trust? Are you first that friend that people can count on? Are you first that friend that when people come to you, you can look at them straight in their eyes and tell them, this thing you just did was complete nonsense. However, let's go and drink one bottle of beer first, then we can come back and deal with it. Are you first that friend that people can rely on and you're not just miles away all the time? Are you that present friend? Are you that person first? And that's where maybe this particular episode is going to end. You first need to become the things that you're asking people to give to you, because you would attract it. If you're not, you would also attract it. So see some of the things that were disempowering for me. I didn't trust people. I won't put myself down for anybody to walk all over me. I would revenge on behalf of other people, not my own trauma or another person's trauma. I will carry it on top of my head. I used to go and hurt people who have hurt my friends, especially with men. If I saw that this man, I can get to him, and this man hurt a friend of mine, I will come for you. Because I was in that place. I was in a self-destruct mode based on all the things that had happened to me. I didn't want to give anybody the license to abandon me anymore. But that's not who I am right now. Because the truth is, if you go, then your time in my life is over. It might hurt, because I want to make you, who maybe was for a reason or season, into a lifetime partner. And then I realized that maybe you were just for a season and a reason. Did I learn from it? Yes. Did I grow from it? Yes. Is it painful? Yes. But, it is what it is. And our time is over. So I've moved from being avoidant and anxious into being a secure person, because all is always well for me. If you want to get to that state and in that space, send me a DM. I've got a mentorship class at the moment. You've got to be a part of it. so that I can teach you how to get there. Okay?